if we wanted, if the board decided, there's things we need more information on something, and we get near that end and we haven't got there. What would be the process to get that extended if there's a possibility? What would be that process?
Well, I don't
Do we have to
know.
go and ask that question from someone else? Or can we vote on extending the date?
I don't think we can. The agreement, unless you change the agreement, you can't change that agreement without going back to the OMB.
Just have some clarifications for people understand that. If we got to the 1st of December and how things go through December, and there is some, we only got November to go, the tenders are coming back, and if we want to discuss tenders, we may have to get to the point where we are ready. We may be ready for the end of December, we may not be ready. And we're getting close enough that we need to know what the possibility of extending this is. There is legal advice we need on that.
There is no possibility. The agreement states that it's the 31st. That's, unless you go back to the OMB, then somebody has to do that. And I don't think, I'm not going back unless somebody's not doing it. So that the agreement said, the only thing you have to understand, I guess, is that the numbers coming in from the treatment plant itself is either you agree with the high bid or the low bid. There's not much else to understand. That is the numbers. There are no other numbers you can go for. So you're either in the phased in or you're in the full build up, one or the other. So that's what you have to look at.
To add to then make it not that what I'm worried about is confusion when we get into November. Who's going to really explain to us the difference between phase 1, phase 2, the cost, and is there government would pull back the grant money on the remainder, or how do we work that? Do we take a lower tender at phase 1? Is that going to lower the grants money?
I guess
we know that legally, that's going to help us make our decisions for the 31st. So if it's legal and the 31st is a binding agreement, where there's some things we got to know in between. We've only got about 6 weeks to get that.
Well, we're going to have a lot of meetings in 6 weeks. That's all
we're
I'm
going to
saying.
be sure.
So, I'm understanding when the next meeting will have a lot of those issues as part of our discussion. Our discussion, I don't know if it'll be answered, but part of the discussion will be, this is phase 1, blah, blah, blah.
We may have to
Big belt and all the pluses and minuses, and if we got more questions, that's, as the mayor pointed out, so we'll be doing that discussion.
It may be a longer meeting.
Well, that's fine too.
Board member Weavers.
The question, I believe the grant money is 2/3, so if the plant doesn't cost
2/3 of it, 2/3.
it's only 2/3 what you get, so the grant will be reduced.
That's a large
by that amount.
consideration. Large
Big
consideration.
consideration.
Very big consideration we have to look at.
The only, I guess the big consideration also, what you have to look at is that between the phased in and the full build out and the money that when it goes from the grant money up to the full build out money, there's about $5,000 and $5 million in there. That's full taxpayers' dollars. There's no grant money involved in it. So you got to keep that in mind also.
Good point. We're going to have that discussion. I mean, it's good to have a discussion now. I guess we'll talk about all that again. Well, these reports getting to council before.
Well, I guess
when is the formal?
we have. Well, I guess what we're going to have is the committee is going to go over these reports and send them back to the councils, and then those reports will, well, take it to your own council then, and then you go over those reports, and then at the next meeting you should have all your questions ready at that time. Go ahead.
Thank you. But it's important that that everybody's aware of calendars and when councils meet. This change of this meeting from the 21st to the 14th has...
Oh, excuse me. That meeting was changed from the 7th. The previous meeting was the 7th.
Okay.
And it was never changed from the 21st. The meeting on the 21st was never finalized by anybody. Not by us anyway. And I was never, the chair was, it was never discussed with me at all, ever.
If I may.
Go ahead.
The point I'm trying to drive home is that it's important for all the board members to know the dating of receipt of this information so that we know that we're going to finally receive it in our next board meeting. It doesn't do any of the municipalities much good to receive it after the council meeting so that we can't discuss it as a council, so.
I understand what you're saying, absolutely.
All right.
And I know if it came down to it, at our council, we could actually call a special meeting if we had to. I mean, this is important, and it's important enough that you're talking about a lot of taxpayers' money, so if you need to, but we'll try and accommodate everybody so that they have enough time to discuss it at their council meetings. For sure.
There's a commitment on behalf of the technical committee made up of the 3 municipalities that Dylan's full report will be to the CIOs of the 3 municipalities by October 24th. And it will flow from there.
That's in the recommendation. Go ahead.
George, just a quick question. So is the expectation that our council will have discussed the reports from the technical committee prior to the next meeting of the board?
I would think so, yeah, and then, if you have questions when the presentation is made, then that's when you can ask the questions. And I think we should all have, I mean, if we have to call another board meeting, we can do that also. I mean, it's not, nothing is carved in stone. I mean, it's up to us to set the dates. We can do that. If we need to have 2 more meetings for the 3, we can do that. That's the call of the board, and so. That's right, so if we need more time to discuss it, we can do that. Anyways, I have a recommendation here, and I need a mover and a seconder for it. I don't think I called a mover and a seconder, did I? I need a move for the recommendation. Was it moved? Was it voted on? Did you guys vote on that? Okay. All in favor of that recommendation?
Read it out, let's hear it's this recommendation, but some seem to be, and we're clear what we're voting on here. Let's have the recommendation read out, and it was moved and seconded.
It was moved by Mayor Delson and seconded by Mayor Weaver. The Grand Bend Sewage Treatment Board received a report from Dillon Consulting Limited regarding the tender design preliminary results for expansion of the Grand Bend Sewage Treatment Facility, and direct that a final tender report from the technical committee be forwarded to the CAOs by October 24th, and a full report to the next board meeting.
Okay, everybody understand that now? Okay, then, all in favor of that recommendation, carried. Okay, new business, done? Yep, go ahead.
We get longer.
I'm reading, I'm not looking.
Has there been any withdrawals or any groups, I'm hearing rumors out there, so maybe this is the play path, and has any associations said that they're withdrawing, they don't want to have the sewers in their area, in your South Huron or anything like that? Because I know Dashwood is still on the, just to clarify again, Dashwood is still on the record, for example, that it's not in at this time, as far as South Huron is concerned.
As far as we're concerned, yeah.
Okay, and because we just want to make that sure, as you know, we share
Yep.
Dashwood, and
Yeah.
I've always been careful to say, talk to South Huron. I said, but probably what they're doing, we're gonna do, for obviously, whether you're for or against the whole idea. So I just wanna, here's the opportunity. Has there been any other areas that have been officially saying they wanna be in or out?
Go ahead.
I guess that would be up to each individual municipality when it comes to that part of it, because that's the pipes and that's the sewage capacity that needs to be taken by each municipality to cover their part of the program. So I think that's a question for each of your own.
Fair enough.
Yeah, this board is for the treatment plant. Go ahead.
Well, I agree with board member